Oh my!
Hello and welcome to Geek Week for Midlife Crisis Through Dance. And today is Friday, Fan Day. And though I am not directly associated with the YouTube effort for Geek Week, I cannot help but put a submission in. Today, we're going to talk about why George Takei is awesome. If you don't know who George Takei is, that means you're not part of the fandom. And today, since it's Fan Day, you need to know about fandom. I am a member of many fandoms out there. Allons-y, Good Day, Geronimo. One does not simply walk into a fandom. Fandoms are different areas in pop culture or science fiction, geeky topics that you could be a part of, you could be a fan of. I'm a fan of many different shows, and one that's a major fandom is Star Trek. And it's a good launching point to talk about George Takei and why George Takei is awesome. George Takei originally became famous off his work on Star Trek. So when you talk to people about George Takei, this is usually what they say. Why do you think that George Takei is awesome, Joe?
Because he's Lieutenant Sulu.
And why is that important?
Because he can fly the Starship Enterprise.
Where to?
Second star to the right, and straight on till morning.
As you can see, George Takei is associated mainly with Star Trek. But we have to ask ourselves, Star Trek was a long time ago. What is George Takei doing today? So I asked that question, at least to somebody. Blaze, why do you think that George Takei is awesome?
Star Trek, of course. I mean, Sulu?
Do you know what he's doing today?
Not today.
Well, if you don't know what George Takei is doing, let me inform you. As part of the fandom, I can tell you that George Takei has become a great inspirational figure in social media. On Twitter, on Facebook, on different avenues like YouTube, George Takei has become a satirist and a comedian working with a wide range of topics. He regularly writes reviews for fun products or funny reviews for products. He regularly posts funny pictures, and he really connects people throughout the world through his humor, through his satire and social media. He also is an amazing human rights advocate. He is an advocate because of his own personal experience with his issues coming out in Hollywood, but also when he was younger, was in a Japanese internment camp during World War II, an experience not many people who are still alive today can share. So he has found a great avenue to advocate for human rights. He works also on a new Broadway play that focuses directly on human rights and how it's important to all of us to respect human rights. So George Takei is putting a lot of these great creative ideas together now that he's older. Though we know him from the fandom, and I am a fan who loves his work from Star Trek, that makes him awesome to begin with. He's even more awesome now because of the great work he's putting out there and the great advocacy he's doing. For dance, for things like that, he has always been a great advocate for the arts. He's always been a great advocate for Broadway and dance and for performance. So he is a great figure to aspire to when we look at being well-rounded when you're famous and being really influential in a lot of different areas. George Takei is one of those people who wants to have a positive influence all over the place and all over the fandom. That's why people still want to know what George Takei is doing, because he's awesome. Because he puts out awesome work. And I hope maybe he sees this at some point, maybe 10 years from now or whatnot, but at least if he knows, and I'm talking right now to you directly, if you know, we at least think you're awesome. The fandom, we think you're awesome. And we hope that you continue to do the inspiring work that you do, because it means a lot to us and it helps enrich us to be better people. And if you can, I'm going to link a few different things for George Takei below. Here's some of the things that he does.
Oh my!
And if you haven't ever checked him out or liked his work, you should go online, follow him on Twitter, like his page, see some of his fun work. Maybe if you're in New York City and you're in the area, go see his new Broadway show, which also is right here.
Totally awesome.
And finally, as a fan and as Geek Week Fan Day, I want to thank all the geeks out there who watch this. I'm sure there are a few who also are a little bit geeky like me, and I am a major geek. I play card games, I watch anime, I am a geek, and I am wholeheartedly a geek, even when I dance. And it's important to know that geeks out there have someone they can look up to, and that's why George Takei is awesome, and why you should think he's awesome too. And think about it, be a geek, and dance on. Don, why do you think that George Takei is awesome?
The man added a whole new context to the phrase, oh my. Has so much meaning.
Oh my.